All right, so hello everyone. Thank you for coming to this session on YuJa. We'll talk about what YuJa actually is in a little bit. So my name is Isadora, and you may have known me before as Izzy. Well, yeah, I'm still Izzy. So either way, it's fine. And so I'll just quickly start my webcam. I kind of checked my hair this morning just for you. I don't know how it's going to show up. Oh, I have my iPad here, so I know actually I'm looking at you. So that's me, Isadora, and I'm just gonna stop the webcam because I get really confused when I have multiple things going on. So maybe I'll just hand the time to Laura to introduce herself.
Hello, good morning. My name is Laura, and I'm going to be facilitating this session together with Izzy today. So this is me, and I'm going to turn it off for the rest of the session. So I will be also monitoring the chat, and I will try to answer your questions through the chat, but if there are questions that they are not answered, we will try to go back later today.
So everything that we're covering today, the slides, we'll be sharing them after the session. And as I mentioned earlier, this is being recorded. Just so I can share it with you as a link later on. You can review some of the materials. Just some housekeeping stuff. This is the second time we're hosting this workshop online. Previously on campus, we had maybe like 3 participants every time, so it was a small group. So this is quite a bit of a change for us as we try to do things online. And just a heads up, if I happen to get disconnected or Laura happens to get disconnected, please give us a few minutes. We'll try our best to get back in. Weird things have been happening. I lost electricity a couple days ago during the town hall meeting. Good thing I wasn't hosting. And I also lost internet connection a few times. So today I have lots of backup, but in case we get disconnected, please be patient with us. And we're still adapting to this environment with so many participants, so your patience is really appreciated. Yeah, as I present, Laura will be checking the chat and then we'll switch over. Okay, thanks. All right, so previously we'll have a discussion on why we would want to use a video, but I think with the current situation with COVID where classes, especially for spring and summer, are being switched online, I think we have a valid enough reason to kind of explore some of the options. And so we're not gonna go into details as to why you would want to use videos. We do have some recommendations and some suggested activities in the slides, in the slide deck, so we'll share them later on. But today we're gonna focus on how to use YuJa itself and what is YuJa and why YuJa. So some of the things that we're going to cover would be how to log in. There are actually 2 ways to get into the system. And if you need a software to kind of do your recordings on your computer, there is a free software that comes with YuJa, and we'll kind of show a demo today. And we have a lot of online resources. And I think Brian from the Taylor Institute is also here today. So he might be able to provide some support later on too if you have more questions about YuJa. So we have a team here to help support learning technologies on campus. And we'll show you how to share your content. We'll talk about some of the different ways and the benefits of each. You can share your content with external users or only your students or specific people. So those are some of the things that we'll talk about. And so this is a slide on why video. We're just going to skip that. You can review it later on. All right. So maybe Laura, did you have something to add to this slide?
It's just that keep in mind that when you are using video, you are giving the student a lot of control over their learning process, so they can access to the material in wherever they are and whenever they want. They have the choice. They can select how to access through the content. They also have the control to go back. If they couldn't understand something, they can go back, they can pause. So you are giving a lot of power for the students, and that's something good. So yeah, we included a link that you can see there where you have more information about using video in education if you would like to learn more.
Awesome, thank you, Laura. And this slide has some ideas for you. So when you use technology, we want to get students beyond just like memorizing things or just remembering a concept. We want them to be able to apply those skills. And especially if you're doing field work, you want students to kind of experience how it's like, especially now, they might not be able to go into the field. So having those videos to see the visuals and kind of have that experience would be good. So again, I will send the resources later on. So why YuJa? And first of all, what is YuJa? So I would like to think that it's UCalgary's version of YouTube or Vimeo. So the simplest way to use it would be just to upload a video and share a link. And so with YuJa, because it's a campus supported tool, IT has kind of gone through the privacy security evaluations. And you can also log in with your IT account, so it's more secure there. Whereas like if you go to YouTube, Vimeo, you're signing in with your personal account and your stuff is available to the public, to the entire world, unless you set specific access. So this is a campus supported tool. The other thing is that you can access a lot of support through the vendor as well as the local help desk and the Taylor Institute. There are a lot of people who are able to help you with different things. The other thing is that it gives you access to a free software capture software on your computer. So let's say if you want to record something on your computer and you don't have like a program like Camtasia that costs like a couple $100, you can download the YuJa software station on the Mac or on the PC. And so you can start doing your recordings on the computer. It also works on mobile devices. So if people are watching videos, that's fine. Like you're sharing a link. And also, let's say if you have an iPhone and you've been taking videos on the iPhone, what you can do is with the free app, you can actually upload that video from your machine. So from your mobile device. So you don't have to worry about like transferring the video onto a computer, then uploading it to the website. There's also integration with D2L, and I'll click on the decision tree link in a little bit. But what that means is that you can embed your videos within D2L. And so if you don't want to share a link with the entire world, you can kind of have content embedded within your course. So if you're worried about students being able to download videos, if you use YuJa and embed it in your course, then they won't be able to download the actual video itself. It will be embedded and they can view it. Main thing is that it also comes with the captioning function. So it auto captions. By default, it auto captions in English, but I've heard that there are multiple languages that you can choose from. I haven't tried it yet, but maybe that's something you can try out. So it auto captions. You can turn it off if you want, but the benefit is that like you need to think of accessibility or universal design for learning. So you want your content to be accessible, and yeah, so having that captioning function will allow them to kind of see the text along with the video or even download it. And it gives you more control in terms of access. So what that means is that, and we'll do the demo later on. You can set a simple password, or you can say, I just want people at the UFC or university affiliated with the university to be able to access this video. Then you can set authentication on, which requires them to log in with their IT username before they can view your video. And there are a lot of good metrics that you can get. So you can kind of determine like, are students actually watching a video? How engaged are they? Or maybe if they're struggling with a particular concept, you can kind of get that information and then follow up. And so I'm just going to click on the decision tree. Oops, let me just click on this here. It's kind of small, I'm sorry, but this is kind of a decision tree to help you determine like when would you want to use YuJa or why. So some basic questions here. One of them is that, do you use D2L? If you don't use D2L, then maybe you can just go straight to YuJa, because that way it's kind of like sharing a YouTube link where you can upload a video and then people can see it without having to go into the D2L site. But if you use D2L as a learning course management system, then here are some other, I guess, like things to consider. One is, have you used the D2L built-in functionality? Because D2L allows you to upload an attachment, and it also allows you to like use the video note feature, which allows you to just kind of record something quick. I think, yeah, for now it's 3 minutes, something quick with your webcam. So if you're using D2L and you don't need like a super long video, you can upload it to D2L. So don't worry about using YuJa if all you need to do is upload a file. Now, when would you want to use YuJa then? So here it's like, have you tried using the video note in D2L? Yes, but. So these are some situations where, let me just try and make this bigger if possible. Oh, it's not letting me, but here it says that my video exceeds D2L's file size limit. So within D2L, there's a file size limit, and it's 1 gig. So if you have something that's bigger than 1 gig, it won't let you upload that to D2L. So in that case, you might want to use YuJa, because YuJa, the file size limit is 5 gig. So usually 1 gig is pretty big already, and we don't suggest like uploading videos that big. But let's say if you do have something that's more than 1 gig, then you might want to use YuJa. And the other thing is that if you want to record a video that's longer than 3 minutes, I think right now the default within D2L is that the video note allows you to record something up to 3 minutes. I think they might come out with an update later that allows longer clips, but for now, in the meantime, if you have something that's more than 3 minutes, you might want to consider using YuJa. A couple other things. If you want students to be able to take notes and post comments, and we'll demonstrate some of those the features later on. So it gives students some control over their learning, or they can ask questions. If you need auto captioning, and if you need a tool to edit your video. So what I haven't mentioned before was that YuJa actually comes with a free editing software. It's an online editing tool. So don't think of it as a very fancy program where you're gonna have like all the transitions and like all the blurring and things like that. It's very limited, but still, like if you need a tool to kind of cut out the beginning, cut out the end or middle, you can do that. And it also allows you to add something called index, which is a bookmark, and so you can allow people to kind of skip to a certain topic. So those are some decisions that you would have to make. And so, but if I could just offer a piece of advice, I would say keep it simple. Don't try to use different tools, especially when there's like a time constraint. You need to put everything online, and trying to learn all the tools with all the different quirks and special features, that would be very challenging. And right now, I have to be honest, like Laura and I, we're still learning about all the different tools. And so if anything, just keep it simple, use the simplest workflow. If you have something that works for you already, just stick with that tool. So I just want to mention that D2L, YuJa, Zoom, they're all optional. So no one is forcing you to use them, but the benefit of using them is that like it makes things more accessible, because like especially with D2L, content is accessible and students are kind of familiar with that consistent experience. So and these are all campus supported tools. So if you were to use anything, use a campus supported tool. So there are different options. I would say stick with whatever works for you and keep it simple. All right, so
is
yes.
it? Can I add something? Because we have one participant that is sharing in the chat that D2L now allows 30 minutes for the video note. Maybe they did that change because of COVID-19. Could that be?
Good question. Or it might be a recent update, and recent, I mean last night, because we do have monthly release, and they try to come up with features. All the different vendors, they try to come up with features, but the thing is sometimes it's hard to keep track of all the different features. So, and that's something good to know. If D2L allows up to 30 minutes already, so maybe you can just try the built-in tool without having to learn a different tool. But what we're going to cover today is like, and this slide will talk to it a little bit. We're going to cover the basics. If just sharing a link works for you, that's all you need to do. But we'll also talk about the additional features that are available. So if you have more time or you feel more comfortable exploring the tool, then you can explore those things. So if it's overwhelming for you, I would say just like block out whatever is too overwhelming, too much information, and just stick with the simple steps and then explore them later on. So, and thanks for that comment and question.
No problem.
All right, so again, today we're gonna go through a couple of things. We're gonna go through the basics, how to log in, how to use it as a standalone tool versus using it in D2L. We're gonna also show you kind of the interface of YuJa, and the additional features would be the software capture software, where it allows you to do your own recording. So if you want to record, like, let's say a PowerPoint presentation with kind of like your webcam turned on in the corner, you can do that. So you so yeah, if students don't see you on campus in class, you can at least have your lectures with your face, so they know actually who you are. And then yeah, and then we'll show you some of the additional security features, as well as the online editing tool. All right, so now I'm gonna stop talking for a bit, but you'll still hear me, just because I'm gonna show you a video that kind of demonstrates, highlights the main features of YuJa. But before I do that, I just wanna mention a couple of things. So when you show a YuJa video, when you play it, you may not be seeing all the additional features. So what you might want to do is, if you do have captioning, or if students are viewing your video, you might want to remind them to click on these icons at the bottom, and I'll show you what they are in a bit. So CC would show the captioning here at the bottom. If you click on this little, I don't know what they call it, that window or that little icon, but it expands it and it gives you a couple additional features, which I'll talk to in a little bit. And this little thing here is that it allows you to expand it and show the video in full screen. The little setting icon allows you to kind of speed up the video if you need to, and a couple of other things too. So these are additional options. And what I'll do is I'll play the video just so you can kind of see how it looks like. And I'm going to turn off my mic just because it will get very confusing as I go through the video. The video may not be relevant to you, but you'll see that there might be things popping up, and like, for example, links. And as the links pop up, you can actually click on it and it will bring you to that additional web page. So one thing I want to mention is that if you have hyperlinks on your slides or in your video, they actually aren't hyperactive on the video itself. So that's one thing. But a workaround would be to insert comments, which I have done in my video. And in those comments, you can embed hyperlinks. And so users can actually click, or viewers can actually click on those links to get additional resources. All right, so I'm just gonna stop talking and play the video. Welcome. If you're watching this video, it's because you have graciously accepted the position as D2L Course Administrator, or CA for short, within your department. So thank you for doing so. In this video, we will go over some common tasks, such as how to search for courses, how to check the availability of a course, add a user, and address some common requests or questions that you may be getting from instructors. Let's get started. To log in as Course Administrator with special privileges, please use this link: d2l.ucalgary.ca/d2l/login. So I'm going to pause there a little bit. So you'll see that in my video, there is a hyperlink here. So that's the comment that pops up, and people can click on it to visit that web page. And also you'll see that when I click on this little icon here, there are different options that I can access. So here I've put an index, which are bookmarks. So if you want people to be able to skip to a particular portion of the video, for example, how to log in or how to make a course active, you can do that. So by default, it creates some random index for you, but you can certainly edit it just so you decide what's more relevant, and you can edit the timestamp and things like that. But that's one thing. One of the features is that you can create bookmarks, so students can use this as a study tool, or you can highlight certain things. If you click on captions, there's the actual text with the timestamp. But earlier, if you clicked on the CC icon there, it will appear on the video. Notes, and I'll explain the difference between notes and comments. I'm going to actually talk about comments first. So comments, so you notice that I had some pop-up comments. So when you upload the video, you as the author or content creator get to decide who can post comments and who can see the comments. So in this case, I set it just so only I can post comments and nobody else can post comments. But like, depending on your situation, you can make some decisions. Now, notes, that's a little bit different. Okay, so what this requires is that the person needs to have authenticated before they watch the video. And so this could be going through a D2L course where the system knows who I am. And so when I watch the video, I as a student can just put in notes for myself. And when I visit it again, I can go back and retrieve my own notes. So notes are private, but it requires you to have authenticated, because if you shared the link to somebody random and the system doesn't know who they are, then yeah, you won't be able to retrieve those notes back. So the system needs to know who you are. One more feature is that there's a resources tab. So what I've done here was that I've included additional PDFs for people to download. So I've referenced some things, but in my video, but I also want people to be able to kind of like access the PDF. Okay, so it will show up here on the side, or there's a way for you to download. So if you want supplementary materials or additional resources, you can do that. So those are some of the main features of YuJa. Okay, so let me just get back to the slides, and I'll actually pass the time on to Laura.
Thank you, Izzy. So yeah, the video that Izzy just showed us is a very nice example because it's using almost all the features that YuJa provides. So and as we are going to see, so we are going to do a demo. So you are going to see how to use those features. So now what I would like to show you is if we can.
And Laura, if you can give me one moment.
Okay, yeah.
I just clicked into a different place, so. And
yeah.
Thanks for everyone's patience as we try to do this online together.
So I'm going to share with you an example. So because we are administrator, we have access to the YuJa platform and we can look at the numbers. So I would like to share with you for an example of a video that is the most popular video as of March. I haven't checked the numbers lately, but I'm pretty sure that they have changed because of the COVID-19. But this video that I'm going to share with you is the video that as of March was the one that was most popular. That means that it has the most number of views. So this is a video from an instructor in chemistry. So I'm going to play it so you can have a sense of another example. Okay.
Looking at the periodic table, the number above each element corresponds.
Okay, so what this instructor is doing, she is using probably her iPad or tablet. She opened a slide and she is going to write over the slides as she is speaking. And so she's doing a screencast. She's recording her screen while she's speaking and writing over. So let's take a look. Let's maybe advance.
To the atomic number. It tells us the number of our periodic table. In the energy diagram to the left here, we can see that for the S subshell, we only have one line, which says within any S subshell, we have one orbital. For the P subshell, we see there are 3 lines.
So this is for first year chemistry students or engineering students in engineering. I'm not completely
so within
sure.
a P sub.
Oh, but the thing is that this is a very simple thing to do. She's not using a lot of features from YuJa. She's just doing a screen recording and speaking over while she writes over her slides. So she's not using all the features like the one that Izzy was showing before. It's a very simple to do, but still it's very useful for students because they can review all those concepts and it has a lot of views. So looks like it's very useful for students. So how you can, if we can go back to the slides, maybe can we, okay. YuJa provides you, as he mentioned before, she listed together with other features, YuJa provides you metrics, analytics, and that's so powerful because allows you to get an understanding of how your content is being delivered through the video and how students are taking that content. For example, I would like to show you for this video. if we can, you see if you can go to the next one, because I can, yeah.
Yeah, we're
here.
finding
So,
some weird things with us controlling together.
Yeah.
Okay, just tell me to click if it doesn't work for you. Thanks.
Yeah. So here, for example, if this is the numbers for her video. So YuJa will show you this kind of analysis. In this case, we have this plot that is showing you the number of views and the time, the video as the time progresses. So you can see there is a lot of number of views, and they kind of maintain as the video progresses. So you have some hotspots that you can see here at different times, and that's interesting because as for you as instructor, it may tell you that at those specific points, a student may have some trouble, and they maybe spend more time in there, or they revisit that specific points in there. So it might tell you that those concepts are maybe some students are maybe struggling with, or they are very interested in those portions of the video. So it provides a lot of information that I'm going to show you where you can find that information, but also tells you not just about all the students, but you can go, if you can go to the next one, you see? Yeah, so it also shows you for a particular student. So let's say you would like to know why a particular student is struggling with something, or you would like to learn about particular students, then you can have the same data for a particular student. So you can see how many times they watch the video, where they were spending most of their time. And you can also see that this correlates with the general data that you gather from all the views. So you can see that these 2 points, these 2 hot points that this student is showing, they are also coming from the data from all the students. So it might be something that you need to maybe go back and look. So this is the advantage that you have YuJa, that provides you all that data, that it will help you to understand how to deliver your content better, and also understand how engaging is the content that you are providing. So for example, something that it might make you think is that, let's say you start your video and you have a lot of views, and suddenly after a few seconds you lost all your views. That might tell you that there's something wrong. So you need to maybe go back and revisit the way you are delivering your content. I would say that this example is pretty good because you have a good number of views that are sustained as the video progresses. So, and this video is, here we have the time, is like 7 minutes. We also recommend that you don't go over, I would say, 15 minutes when you are explaining these short concepts. It's different if you are recording a lecture, okay? So this is just, yeah, easy, go ahead.
Right, and maybe I'll just jump in. So these stats are for your information, so you have to do some interpretation. The only thing we would warn you to not to do is to, based on these stats, to give some kind of assessment. So, and there's a chat here, a question that says like, what if students are browsing Facebook at the same time? So they could have it running, the video running in one window, and have Facebook on at the same time. So you can't really tell if they're actually watching it. But that's a good question. But like, this is just to give you a general sense of how people are accessing your content. Don't use it as a form of assessment. But speaking of assessment, YuJa does have the quiz feature, which you can integrate with D2L. But again, it's more so for study purposes, for a kind of self-reflection kind of thing, instead of like allowing students to do quizzes and you're grading them. Because right now I think that they can have multiple attempts. So if they do like it as many times as they want, they will eventually get 100%. So
yeah, and again, yeah, I was reading Stephanie's comment. Yeah, so use this data for you as instructor to understand the way you are delivering the content, not to monitor the students. This is our advice.
All right, I think it's my turn. Oh, did you have anything else?
Yeah, one more thing. So when you're using YuJa to do this sort of things, keep in mind that because we got some emails from instructors having problems with when they record a session, then when they finish, they realize that maybe they have some problems, the sound was chopped, or it was not synchronized with what we were showing. So this is the recommended settings for YuJa software station. We are going to see that in a bit, but here we put links for PC and Mac, you can go in there and check that you have the correct settings, because if you don't have the current settings, it might happen that you record your session and after you finish, then you watch your video and you realize that you have problems, like your sound, as I said, your sound is chopped, or it's being cut, or it's not synchronized with what you're showing. So we recommend that before you start recording yourself, you go to these 2 links and verify that you are using the correct settings. And I would suggest also to do a short test to make sure that everything is working fine before you start recording your session, your lecture, or your resource.
Thank you. Yeah, so again, we'll share the slides and we'll have more support links later on. But just so you know, YuJa, in terms of support, if you have troubles like installing the software on your computer or logging in to access YuJa, the local IT support center can help you with it. And then in terms of like how to use certain features, feel free to reach out to us. There are also a lot of like online videos, help documentation online provided by YuJa. And if it's something that we can't answer or address, you can reach out to the to YuJa support directly. So vendor does provide support, and they're usually pretty responsive. So like if you call them or message them or send them an email, they usually respond within the day. So there was a question earlier about the software station. So this is the software where you have to download onto your computer. So you won't be able to kind of record things on kind of like online using the web portal or online interface. I don't know if that makes sense. So you kind of need to have a computer, yeah, a computer to kind of do the recording. Or if you have the videos already, all you have to do is just upload to the YuJa web portal. So hopefully that makes sense. So there are many different features, but you don't have to use all of them. We're just going to introduce some of the, highlight some of the main things. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you how to access YuJa. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna close a couple of things. So 2 ways to access YuJa. One way is to go to yuja.ucalgary.ca. Okay. So if you don't have a YuJa account, all you have to do is sign in. So where it says University of Calgary single sign-on, if you click on login, it will ask you for your IT username and password. So as long as you have your IT username and password, you'll be able to get in. Initially, when we had implemented YuJa last year, we recommended instructors to use it. We ran a pilot with instructors, but currently, because of the situation, you might want to ask students to create your own videos as a form of I guess, assignment submission. So if students have IT accounts, they could also log in here and then, I guess, upload the video and share the link with you. Yeah, so students can use it too. One thing to note is that if you are asking students to create videos and they have access to this system, just advise them to just follow copyright regulations, don't upload movies, and just be aware of what you're putting there. Remove what you don't need anymore, just so you're not just taking up all the storage space. Yeah, I guess whatever. Yeah, some of the things that make sense, but maybe you need to have to remind them once in a while. So here, let me just log in. This is how you would log in. And so again, the first time you log in, it will provision you and a YuJa account. Okay, so this is kind of how it looks like in terms of the interface. So I've uploaded a bunch of videos for testing or for whatever earlier. So, and since I'm here, I'm just gonna mention a couple of things before I show you how you can get access to this in D2L. You'll notice that once you've logged in at the top, you'll see your little profile. You can, a couple of things. So if you click on my account, don't worry about your profile. It usually pulls whatever is tied to your email account. What I want to mention here is that you can click on the recycle bin. It's kind of a weird thing to kind of mention first, but recycle bin is where you would find videos that you have deleted. And what happens is, if you've deleted something, you can still restore it within 60 days, but after 60 days it's kind of purged. Okay. So, but if you want to restore, just hover over it and then just go restore. Or if you want to permanently remove it to save some server space, that would be nice too. Okay, so that's that. The other thing is that if you go to profile and you click on support, these are the different ways that you can contact the vendor. So contact them directly. So send them an email or even call them or send a message. Okay, so as you report issues, try to provide as much detail as you can. For example, if you're using the software station, were you on a Mac or a PC, and what's happening. So like, so sometimes what happens is like if you record, and we'll talk more about the software station, if you record something on your computer using the software station, it might take some time to process online, especially with now everyone trying to use the same tools. Sometimes you just kind of have to be patient. Although I totally understand that the waiting part could get you anxious. So we'll talk a little bit more about the software later. So the other way to access YuJa would be to go into a D2L course as instructor. So in this case, if you want to access it in D2L, you would have to be the instructor of the course. So let me just log in. And so I'm just going to go to, let's see, one of my sandboxes. So to find YuJa, you will go to My Tools and then YuJa there. Okay. So you have to be the instructor to be able to kind of have more easily assess it within the D2L course. But if you want students to use it, you can just advise them to go to yuja.ucalgary.ca. But you'll notice that I have the same video. So the only thing that's different is that within D2L, I see more of the navigation bar at the top with the course title, whereas in YuJa, it's not associated with the course. So let me just go back to here. So the same videos right here, same as what's in D2L. All right, so that's kind of how to access it. And I'll later on, I'll show you how to actually, once you have your videos, how to embed it within your course. Okay, so let me just, have I missed anything, Laura? If not, maybe I'll pass the time on to you.
No, you can pass it to me so I can start showing how to do stuff in YuJa. So I can start sharing easy, if you're fine with that.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so are you able to see my screen?
Not yet, so maybe I have
Not
to
yet?
stop
Oh,
sharing
okay,
mine.
no.
Sorry about that. Okay, try again.
Are you able to see it now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a sort of demo, and I will show you the essentials about the YuJa web interface, how you can find the different tools and features to make a video like the one that Izzy was showing. There are so many tools, so many features in YuJa, so it may feel overwhelming. So keep in mind that this is sort of a tour, and you may need to invest some time after to get comfortable with the different tools. So to start, so Izzy just she commented a little bit about some of these tools. She went to the user profile here. So this is the top navigation bar in YuJa. So you can see this icon. This is the YuJa icon. Anytime you click on the icon, it will take you to the home. That is the same screen, the same place where we were at. So anytime you are in a different place and you would like to return to the home, you just need to click on the YuJa icon. Then you can see that we have these two main things. We have manage media and create recording. So manage media is where you can find all the tools that are required to store, organize, and access a variety of different media and media features. So we are going to spend some time exploring this managed media area. And then we have the create recording. Create recording is what will allow you to use the YuJa software station to record something using the YuJa software. Then, well, we Izzy already talked about this. Then we have this icon here. So this is notification. So you can set it to notify you anytime you make a change. So you can control that from your profile here too. Then you have this icon, this waffle icon, that is the main menu. if you click on there, I think easy. I don't know if you show that, but this is where you can find analytics. So there are different places to access analytics. From this place, you can access to your complete analytics. So if you click in here, so this is what I was showing, for example, for that instructor. So if you would like to see the analytics for any particular video, you just go to that analytics, and then you can select. So in my case, I don't we could select all. You can select by courses, and then you can select a video. So I don't have here maybe interesting analytics data because nobody's watching my videos. But if you have your video, you just go select your video, then you click on Get Report, and then it will show you the data, the same data that I was showing before from that instructor. So where you have this plot with the number of views and the time, it can tell you about different hotspots, the views. Then it has more information like playback. It may tell you the names. If the student is accessing the video out from D2L, or you make and we are going to talk about that, or you share the video and it's public, so it will come up as anonymous. So depending the student is accessing to the video, you may not be able who it is. Then it collects information about session, bandwidth, technology that the students are using to access to your videos, segment views, session dates. So there are a lot of data. It also allows you to download some portion of that data, not all of the data that you are able to access through this area. So only portion of that. So this is where you need to go if you would like to take a look at the analytics of your videos. So right now, because I would like to go back to my home, I click on the YuJa icon. And now we are going to talk about create recording. So if you would like to use the YuJa station to create your recording, you just need to click here. For the first time, it will ask you to download. So you need to download a desktop application to start using the YuJa software station. I don't know, Isi, if you would like to comment on that, the different ways.
Yeah, so I would say if it's a personal computer, you can always come to create recording and then just download here, and it will give you the latest version for PC and for Macs. If you have a UFC managed machine, sometimes you may not have administrative rights on the computer to install the program. So what you can do is, in those cases, if you have a work machine, under the software center or on the Mac, I think it's called self-service or something like that, you'll be able to find the YuJa software in there. So those are, YuJa is one of the allowed applications. So again, try this first, and if you have troubles, you can contact IT, and on our eLearn site, which we'll share the link later on, there are also some instructions on how to install that on your managed machine.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Zee. So if you already install the machines, then you just need to click on Start. So record from your Windows, PC, or Mac. The software station can come from both PC and Mac. So you will be, when you download, you need to download the correct package. So when you click on Start, because I have it, so now click on Software, use a software station, and it's coming. And this is how it looks like. Yeah, and this is me again. So this is where you can control the different settings that you would like to use for your recording. So YuJa allows you to have a video source, depending if you are using a Mac or a PC. For PC, allows up to 2 video sources in addition to the screen. So you can have the screen, and you can have also a video of yourself talking if you would like to have that too, or you can have in PC 1 more video source if you would like to. If you don't want to have the video, you just turn it off like I'm doing right now, and then you just keep the screen. For example, in the case of that instructor, or in the case of the video that Izzy showed you, they were just doing a screencast of their screen, and they were recording what was happening on their screen. So let's say you would like to have a presentation and have a video where you have the presentation and you are talking over the slides. What you can do is use the YuJa software station, open your presentation in full view in your screen, and then start recording. So,
and I'll just quickly jump in. So if it's your first time to use the software, it will ask you to log in. So again, just make sure it shows the University of Calgary single sign-on and page, and then just like log in with your IT username and password. So it will, once you've logged in, I think the system will remember.
Yeah, in my case, because I was already logged in, so it didn't ask me. But if for the first time, or if you close the software station, anytime it opens, it will ask you to use your credentials to log in and open the software. Then you have audio here. So in this case, for example, it's using the the microphone that is built in with the webcam. But I can use I can check. I can select other source. I have this other microphone. So this is where you can choose the microphone. So if you're doing this sort of narrated PowerPoints or slides, we would recommend to test your microphone and make sure that it's good quality. Sometimes the microphone that comes built in with laptops are not very good, so we recommend that if you have an external microphone, it's always better. So I would say do some tests and play with that until you can, you make sure that the quality is good enough.
Yeah, and I'll jump in, like if you're using a better microphone, it's probably going to work better for the auto captioning because it knows what you're saying. And so in terms of the captioning, it's usually pretty good if you're using normal language. But if you're using more scientific terms, it might take the system a while to kind of learn. But there's a way for you to kind of edit the caption if you need to.
Yeah, so yeah, just to say again, as Izzy mentioned, it's very important to have this good quality, especially for the captions. Then we have screen. So this is if you would like to have just a video and you don't want the screen, this is where you can turn your screen off. So now we don't have anything. Okay, so let's say you just want to keep, you just want to record a video. So from here you can turn your screen off. This is to set up live streaming. So we are not going to cover this today. But you can contact us at any time if you would like to try doing live streaming, and we can help you with the settings. Then we have here the profile. So when you open the UCalgary station, it will be using the default settings that are pre-configured. If you would like to have personalized settings, let's say you would like to make a session and make sure that you are always using the same settings, then you can do that from here. You can create a profile where you choose a particular settings, and then you can select from here the profile. So right now I don't have any profile, but you can create a profile and you can call it from here. Okay. So I have a question that is, do you have recommendation for a good microphone? Maybe Brian can say something about that.
Well,
and I just,
I could.
Go ahead.
Morning, everyone. Yeah, a good microphone is always good to use. I unfortunately have not, because we're doing 3 Zoom sessions out of our house right now, so I ran out of microphones to use. So I'm just using the embedded microphone in my Mac here. But yeah, definitely something that even the little iPhone earbuds with the microphone that's close to your mouth, distance is key. That's the real important part. So if you're not on camera and you can get the mic as close as you can to your mouth, that also does help with the closed captioning and word recognition. So that's what I would suggest for that. Anything else? There are a few sites that if you want to contact me directly, I can put you in the right direction. I've had a few people inquire, and there's some that are out there for $20 to $30 that work just beautifully, and you can move the microphone around and clip it on your chest, and be hands-free. You don't have to have something else on your desk. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks so much, Brian.
I have the same problem like Brian. I have my kids doing their meetings. They are using microphones and webcams. So right now I'm lucky because I can use the Yeti one, but yeah, I'm not always lucky, depending on the situation at home.
And maybe I'll just jump in too. If possible, get a USB mic, just because when you plug it in, when you do the test, it usually, when you plug in a USB headset, when you do the test, it will kind of show you the brand of the microphone. So it's easier for the system to detect. Try not to use those old school ones where it comes with 2 35mm jacks, because sometimes it's hard for the system to detect what devices you have. yeah, and then if things get back to normal, as staff, I'm not sure if you're aware, but if you go to Memory Express, usually as a staff, you bring in your UCalgary ID card and you usually get a discount when you get things from them. But in general, like they're about, yeah, $20 to $40, $50.
Okay, so, and this is where you can see your microphone that is working at least. So if you don't see anything here, yeah, then you don't have any, the sound is not coming out. Well, so let's say we are going to use this software, use this YuJa software station to capture what is happening on our screen. So you can click, before that, sorry. So this is where you can control the settings, because remember I mentioned we share in the screen a link where you can go and check in the YuJa website what are the recommended settings. So if you click, this is the software station for PC. This is software station for PC. The one for what is, sorry, I might have this. Sorry, it's not opening. But the one that is for Mac looks slightly different. It's not exactly, for Mac you only have one video source and the screen, and it looks slightly different. But this is where you need to go if you would like to check the settings. So right now, it did the same last time I was doing this online session, it froze. Shouldn't be happening, so maybe it's getting some delay in the response. Okay, so when you, let's see if it allows me to start. Yeah, I will need to be closing this. Yeah.
And so while you're doing that, so there was a question about live streaming. It's more complicated to set up live streaming. So I'm not sure if you were aware, you probably heard about Zoom. So Zoom, you can use that as an online conferencing tool, and you can allow up to 300 participants. So in that case, Zoom might be an option. This live streaming here, because like if you share a link, people can watch it, but they can't really interact with you. So it would be they're restricted to like texting or putting in their comments. So yeah, so, and we do have workshops on Zoom next week or later on too. And so while Laura is doing that, let me know if you want me to use.
Yeah, maybe if you can you share yours, because
okay.
While I fix mine, because it got yeah, it's processing now.
Yeah, that's what happens when we try to do things online with multiple things going on. So let me know if you, it's processing. So
yeah, but Laura, maybe you can share, would you like to share?
I can do that. Give me 1 second.
While I fix this. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so this is where you can go to see the settings. So you can see that you have many tabs that you can explore. So you have a configuration. So the places where you need to go is here, webcam. Make sure that you select medium, because you have different options. If you go high, extra high, it might be it won't be too much for your computer. So if it found that it has to meet all these high settings, they might cut off your sound. So make sure that you select medium. Medium is enough to have a good quality. And then you have some recommendation for the screen capture. So 5 frames per second is working good, but you can check all these different settings from the link that we share in the presentation.
And if you need more support of the vendor, YuJa can always help you with it if this is too overwhelming.
Yeah, and this looks slightly different if you're in a Mac. So the organization of this stuff is complete. I would say, yeah, but it's different. So keep that in mind, that what I'm showing you today might look different if you're in a Mac. Okay, so essentially what you need to do after you check all the video settings, audio, the screen, and you probably went to these settings option here, then you are ready to start. You just need to click here on start to start recording what is happening in your screen. So when I click start, you will see this bar here. Okay, so that means that it's started recording. You can minimize this window, and then everything that you open in your screen will be recorded. So let's say that you want to open a presentation. Let's see if I have here an example that I can share with you. Let's see if I have. Let me share.
And while Laura is looking for something to share, There was a question about the setting. So yeah, while you're recording, you won't be able to make adjustments, but you'll see at the bottom of Laura's screen, there is the pause button there. So you can pause it for a little bit. And if you click on the little YuJa icon, I think it gets you back to the kind of the window where you can kind of see if the mic is being picked up. But I think the little mic icon at the bottom now, that's a new thing. So you can actually see it without having to load the whole software itself.
Yeah, this is new because before you were only able to see the 3 buttons, but now you can see that. So let's say you have a presentation. So I just pause it because while I was opening the presentation, I paused the recording. So I can, when I'm ready, I can click on resume, but I'm not ready yet. So let's say you have your presentation and you would like to go, you would like to start recording what is happening on the screen. Now, right now, I'm not in full view. Let's go to presentation mode here. Let's move this here. Okay, so now I'm in presentation mode. Let's, yeah. So let's say you start recording here, you are ready. So you just click on resume and then you can start like this. I'm not in the full presentation, I'm in the notepad, that is the same. You can switch around later. So you can start like going through your slide and speak over the slide. You can even write on your slide if you have an iPad like that instructor was doing. When you're ready and you finish with your presentation, and remember, you can pause at any time. If you realize that while you were presenting, you did a mistake, maybe you can make a pause in your presentation. You can resume and leave some space that it may allow you to fix that later on, and then you can keep talking. Okay, so when you're ready with your presentation, you just click here on finish. And what will happen? You will see this window here. So your capture session has ended. Then you click on save. Let's minimize this. And then your presentation will be uploaded into the UCalgary cloud. Let's open again the UCalgary software. So it will be uploaded into your UCalgary account. It won't be saved in your computer. Okay, so keep in mind that if you would like to have a copy or a backup of your file in your computer, then you will be needing to go to the UCalgary website, and then download the file in your computer. Anytime you finish, it will be directly uploaded into the UCalgary cloud.
And so as Laura goes back to the web portal, a couple of things to mention. If you're planning on recording your PowerPoint, you have things in slideshow mode, you might want to do a practice run or maybe select a particular region because it might depend on how things are showing up on your computer, especially if you have multiple screens. And I think slideshow is a little bit different on the PC compared to the Mac version. So try to do a test run before you record the whole lesson, just so you don't have to do much editing.
Yeah.
The other thing is that, like Laura mentioned, you don't actually get a file on your computer after the recording. So you have to wait for it to process online. So you'll see that as Laura goes into the portal, eventually it will show up. So as it's processing, is that the right one? No.
Here you can see, this is the one that I already recorded. Can you see?
Yeah,
here?
I can see it.
So usually it takes a couple of minutes until it is ready. It depends on the length of the recording, essentially. And then after, I would say, within like half an hour, 1 hour, you will be getting an email with a closed captioning. If you don't get that, then you can request that after. So you don't have to worry. Sometimes, depending on the UCalgary server, you may not get the email with telling you that the captions are ready, but maybe the captions are ready. And if they are not, you can always request to have those captions after. Okay, so now, as I show you, it's essentially very simple. You just click in here. Once you have the application in your desktop, it will open. Then you just need to check the settings, click on the start button, and start recording what is happening in your screen. And it will be directly uploaded into your UCalgary main area under Manage Media. So now what we're going to do, we are going to explore Manage Media. As I said before, the Managed Media provide the tools required to store organize and access a variety of different media and the media features. And there are a couple of them. So we are going to try to cover most of them today. And as I said before, then you will have to spend some time getting comfortable in using all these features. So this is how it looks. You have this main area here where you can see all your videos, and you can also have your folders. You can use folders to organize videos by topics, week, or whatever way you would like to have them organized. Then you have here this side menu bar. Essentially, you can access to the same information from the sidebar compared to this main area. As many softwares, they usually have very different ways to do the same thing. Same here with YuJa. So here is my media, is what you are looking here, okay? And then you have all these folders that are the same folders that you can see in here. Okay, so then you have share folders that are folders that you can, that are shared with you. YuJa allows you to create folder and share with a certain group of people. Then there is this share area here that you, as a user, you won't have access to do anything in here because you have to have admin privileges to to publish content in this area. But you are able to see what is in there. Okay, so let's explore this bar here. So here, if you click on here, you are only hiding this lateral menu, this side menu. If you click again, you will expand it. Then you have the search feature here. The search is very useful. You can search your videos by tags that you assign for the video, by names, by content that is inside. There are many different ways to search it. So if you click in here, you have some instructions on how to use the search tool. I encourage you to explore that. Then you have folders. Anytime you would like to create a new folder, you just click in here and you create a new folder. Then you have upload. Because YuJa is a video web hosting service like YouTube, you will be able to upload your videos that you may have created using the YuJa software station or not. You may have created them with a different software, or there are videos that maybe you don't have, you haven't created, but you have it, and you would like to upload into YuJa, then you can do it from here. If you click in there, there are many different options. YuJa allows you to upload videos, but any other different kind of files. So you can upload audio, just MP3 files, and be careful with that because there are different other formats for audio files. YuJa will recognize only MP3 files, so keep that in mind. If you upload any other format, it won't be recognized by YuJa. And video, MP4. You can assure that would be recognized. I think there are other formats that you can upload with YuJa, but for audio, only MP3. Then you can also upload documents like Word documents, PDF documents. You are also able to upload images in JPG, PNG, so different formats. You can also link. So let's say you have a link from YouTube or from Vimeo. You can also link it into YuJa. We are going to explore, and also VR or 360 video. We are going to explore very quickly all these options. So we are going to start with a simple video. If you click on video, you select the video, then you click on browse. Then let's say I have a video in here. I'm going to upload this one. You can change the name here, or you can upload with this name that YuJa by default, or it may be the original name that I have in my file. And then you just need to click on Start Upload. And then you will see this progress bar as it is being uploaded. And you can see that it's pretty quick. Okay, so now I have, and you can see now I have my videos being processed, and it will be very soon in YuJa. For example, in this case, I uploaded a video that has some talking. So I will get the captions for that video. So YuJa will process what the person is saying in that video and will create the captions. So that video will have the captions in a little bit. Let's go back to upload. We have as I said, you can upload audio files, documents, could be any kind of document that is Word document or a PDF. Let's upload here, for example, PDF. Start upload, and then you will see your PDF in there. And this is useful. Remember when Izzy showed her video that she was displaying a PDF on the side of the video? Well, what you need to do that, first you need to upload, anytime you would like to display a file on the side of the video, first you need to upload that into YuJa. It won't allow you to upload a file directly from your computer to the video. So first you need to upload into the YuJa interface, and then you can attach to your video. So we have a question. Can you show your PPT and video with a Okay, yeah, I can show that. So if you give me a minute, I would like to finish with some of the tools, and then I'm going to show how that looks like and how to use other features when you play a video. Just a minute. Other things you can do, I told you that you can upload a link. Could be a YouTube link, Vimeo link, or another web link that you have. There are different ways. In YouTube, you can what does it mean upload a video from YouTube? You can link it, so you will be able to see the YouTube video in your YuJa main area, but the video will be located in the YouTube server, so it will be hosted by YouTube. So it will be linked essentially. But it also, depending on the YouTube sharing options, it may also allow you to retrieve that video from YouTube and have it locally hosted in your YuJa cloud. Okay, so let's. I can show you. That. So, for example, let's see this video. I have an example here. If you have a link, you just grab the link and copy and paste the link. And there you have this. If you just click Start Upload, this video will be just linked to the YouTube. If you click on Import Options, depending on the video, you can be able to import your YouTube video into your account. That means that video, that file will be actually retrieved from YouTube, and it will be locally hosted into your YuJa. Okay, so you need to click on this to be able to do that. And they said this media is being downloaded for instructional purposes in compliance with uses permitted under the Teach Act. This is from US. So you click on Save. Start upload. I didn't put any title here, and then you will have it in your YuJa area.
So I'll just jump in for a little bit. If you have any questions about copyright, it's always good to check with the copyright office on campus. But yeah, this one it just references and checks what's on YouTube and see if you're allowed to get the file. If it's your own video, of course you will have access to it. You own it. But if it belongs to others and you're in doubt, just contact the copyright office. And there was a question about can we merge two videos? So not, well, it's more difficult, and maybe I'll let Laura address that.
No, I can show you the editing tools that YuJa provide. You might be able to do it depending what you would like to do it. So I will cover in that later on when we're talking about the editing tool that YuJa provides for you to use. Okay, so I think, well, upload, this is all you can do. It has a very awesome feature that you can upload 360 video or VR video. That is very cool. So very quickly, I can show you. I have a 360 video here. So you can upload that one. That might take a while, but we can look it after. So then you have, well, the back button always gets you back if you would like to go back to an action that you did before. And then you have more actions. So more actions, if you select, for example, a folder, it will display a lot of different options. This is where, for example, let's say you would like to put a collection of videos in a folder, and then you would like to share that folder with a group of people. Then you will be needing first to select the folder and then go to more actions, and then you can share that folder. And you can do many other things. You can download the folder. Let's say that you have been doing recordings using the YuJa software station, but you need to have in your computer. Then you can put all those recordings in a folder, and you can download that folder so you have a backup in your own computer. So you can rename, you can move, you can delete. There are many things that you can do. Same thing if you go and select a particular video, and then you go more actions. you can do, sorry, I wanted to select this. Yeah, if you go more actions, well, here, well.
I think it's still trying to upload.
Yeah, yeah, it's getting great. Okay. Sorry, I will let you go back to my main area. So you can, depending, let's say if you select a video, this is what I wanted to do. You can access to different things. You can play that particular video, you can publish, you can share, you can download that particular video, you can delete, you can move, you can click on more, and there are many things. You can also access to pretty much the same thing if you just hover over your video and you see on the side. So there are different ways to do the same thing. Just by selecting and going to more here on the top, or just hover over your video and you will see all the options in here. I would say if you click on more, you make sure that you access the complete list of features that YuJa offers. So before we go into the features, we can just quickly take a look of this one. I hope I uploaded this the right way. Yes, yeah, so this is allows you to upload 360 video. That is pretty cool. It's a very relaxing one. Okay, let's go back to the main area. Okay, so let's go and explain. What we can do is first go to play. We can play the one that I was doing before, that I did with you, and I was asked to play. So this is how it looks like. If you start playing, yeah, I don't like to hear my voice. So you can see these are all the different tools that Izzy was showing with her video. So if you click on here, you will see the index. So usually by default, we create an index, but then I will show you how you can edit that and you can make changes. So right now we don't have, I didn't do anything, just I recorded my screen, but you can start working on that, creating an index, adding notes, comment, adding resources. So here I don't have anything, right? Just to show you an easy show before. So this is what you see, pretty much what you see with YouTube. So here I don't have captions available because I need to give some time for YuJa to process, but eventually I will have them in here.
And Laura, sorry, I'm just going to jump in, just being conscious of time. I think we have 12 minutes left. So let's talk about how to share and the editing tool.
So if we go to more, this is where you can find all the full features from YuJa. So general is where you can change the title. This is where you can add a document. So let's say for that video, I will let you add the PDF that I uploaded. So you can see that it's immediately here. That means that now if I play this video again, I will be able to find under resources that PDF, and I will be able to open and have it by the side of this video. It also allows you to change the thumbnail. That is the first slide that you get, or when you see your video. So by default, YuJa is choosing one for you and also provides different options by default. If you don't like any of those, you can always upload your own. So you can, let's say if it is a presentation that you would like to have a particular slide with a title, then you can create that slide and then you can upload here and you will have that as a thumbnail for your video. This is a very important place. So if you would like to share your video, this is where you need to go. This is where you can have the link. So this is a link that you will be using to share with your viewers. By default, this link is public. And if you would like to, this is where you can grab the embed code. Let's say you have a website and you would like to embed the YuJa video in your website, you can copy this embed code from here. So as I said, this link by default is public, but you can change that. If you go to security here, this is where you can change that. You can make it private. That means that you will be only able to watch that video. But if you have it public, if you have it public here, you can add additional restrictions. You can add a password. Could be authentication. That means that students or viewers, they will have to have a IT user account to be able to authenticate and watch the video. If not, let's say you will like to keep it open, not just for University of Calgary students, but for others, but you still would like to have a password, then you can just set up a password here, okay? You just set up a password that you would like to have, and then you distribute that link and the password. The other option would be using network. You can also restrict by IP address or range, or geographic restriction. So you can set an IP address, particular IP address here, or a range, and you can select a geographic area that will be able to access to your video. So important thing here, the link and the security of that link. YuJa, as we mentioned, provide very different options to share that video. You can, by default, users are not able to download the video that you are sharing, but if you would like them to be able to download that video, you can share from here. You can enable, so users will be able to download the video. Here is where you can manage comments, and we're going to show very quickly. So if you're adding comment here, you will see a list of comments here. You can decide who can comment, no one, everyone, authenticated users, and who can view those comments, because those comments may be just for you. So you might be only the one that will be able to see those. You can also access analytics from here. But this would be for that specific video. So remember I showed before another way to access all your analytics, but you can very quickly access to portion of those from here. Then you have quizzes. You can use YuJa for creating some quizzes. We recommend that that you think of those quizzes as a way for the students to keep them engaged with the material, so not to use to evaluate them. Okay, this is our recommendation. But it's always a very good idea to add some questions in the video, so you make sure that students are following what is happening in the video. So this is essentially the features that you can, that YuJa provides you. What I would like to cover in the time that we have left very quickly is the edit, because we have a question, someone asking how I can combine two videos or do some edits. When you produce your video or you upload another video, you can always edit that video. So let's say we click here. Keep in mind that this is an online editor tool. It's not a software. So the online editors like this one or YouTube also provide an online editor. They are very limited, the features that you are able to use. And also keep in mind that if you are, and I suggest this, if you are using YuJa, the YuJa editor, anytime you make a change, save it. Don't make a lot of changes and leave the save by the end, because it may complain, it may crash. And it's not like a software, and a video software editor that you install in your computer. It's different. Anytime you save it, it's not saved as a project file, it's saved as MP4. So that means that if you would like, you change your mind and you would like to change something, you will be needing to start from the scratch. It's not a project. It's not that you can change just a small portion of an editing that you did to your video. So keep that in mind. What I would recommend, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'll just jump in. So what that means is that, for example, if I add on top of this, like text with title, once I save it, it becomes a part of the video. So there's no way to kind of edit the text after you have saved over it.
Yeah, so what I would recommend is use YuJa to do small editings. That could be a cat at the beginning of the video, a cat at the end, or in the middle. And for doing that, you have this. So for example, let's say you would like to cut the beginning of the video. So you just trim start, and this portion will be cutted. You can do the same. You can do the same at the end. And anytime you do that, unfortunately, and I suggest that you need to save it, because if you do all the cut and then you leave it for the end, it may complain, you may have problems. So I suggest that do these small changes and save it. And you can, we have a question and someone asking, you can upload another video source and you can combine. And I would suggest to go to the YuJa documentation to see how to do that. YuJa provides a very good and complete documentation. But again, don't expect this to work the same way that you may know by using a software, software editor installed in your computer, a desktop software editor. This is kind of, it's thought to do very small and simple editing. So there are a lot of, there are sort of different tools. I would say use this editor mainly to do cuts in your videos. And also the other important thing is the closed captions. So in this case, this is the video that I've uploaded from my computer, and YuJa already created these captions. So when YuJa creates those captions, you may find imprecisions that you may need to be editing. So this editor is important in that sense because it allows you to access to the captions and do and fix the imprecisions that you have there. So keep in mind, I would use this editor to do small things like cut, begin and start, middle of the video, or any other portion. And then for the editings of the captions. I would not use for adding comments or not comments, for adding text there because it doesn't provide a lot of customization. In terms of the font size, color, you don't have a lot of choices, and also in where you would like to place the text. So I could, if you are planning to do that, I could use another software options like if you have access to Camtasia or the one that comes with Mac, that is the iMovie.
Yes.
Yeah, that is very simple to use. I would use that. What else can I say from here? Anytime you save it, and before that, this is where you can also remember that we talk about the index. This is where you can also personalize the index. And that is very useful because you allow viewers to skip to particular portion of your videos and spend some time in there. Okay, so when you're done with your editing, you just click on save. And then by default, your video will be called _edited. This one I edited, I opened 2 times, so it's _edited and edited. You can always change the name. Be mindful about the name that you use, so you keep track of your changes. By default, all those options are yes, and I would recommend to leave the way they are, and always save as a new video. If you do replace existing video, then if you change your mind, you lost your original source. So always be mindful about that. Okay. So once you're done with that, your edited copy will save, and you'll be able to see in the main area here. Okay. This is the main area. So this is basically all the things that you can do with YuJa. And maybe I will pass back to Easy. So again, may feel overwhelming. There are a lot of features. So take this as a tour and just keep in mind that you may need some time to keep comfortable with the YuJa software.
Thanks, Laura, and I'm aware of the time, so I'll try to cover what I can in 2 minutes, and if you need to leave, I will share the recording after. Just make sure Brandy or TI Programs knows your contact or that you're here. All right, so I'm just gonna quickly show you how to share that within a D2L site. So we've talked about how to share it as a direct link, just by sharing a kind of like a YuJa link. But within the course, what you can do is, let's say you've uploaded your video, the video is in YuJa here, and now I want to put it in my D2L course. What I can do is I'm just going to go into the content area. Again, we have documentation on how to do this, but what you will have to do is select new as a viewer just to add any content. You would have to select this one that says create a file. It's kind of weird, but that's how it works right now. So create a file. I'm just going to go test video link or test video or something. Okay. So what you need to do next is to use this button. They don't have a better word for it. It's just called insert stuff. So we're inserting stuff. It makes sense. So under there, you have to scroll to the bottom and choose YuJa Media Chooser. Okay, and this will show you all the things that you have previously uploaded to YuJa. So scroll down a little bit. Let's say I'm gonna choose this one. Okay, and then I'll just click on insert and save and close. So what happens is the video is embedded in here. So the thing is, if you don't want students to be able to download the video, you can just embed it like that. If you click on download, it doesn't actually give them the video file. So when you click on play, the only thing to note is that right now, multiple screens, I think on a PC, pause that for a second. Right now, it's very small. So you might want to, again, advise students to kind of use those options there. So if I go to here, they'll have access to the full screen of the video. And then let me just move a little bit here. Then if they click on that button, they'll have access to all the other resources. So you might want to kind of let them know if it's your first time to use YuJa or the first time to view something in YuJa. We've given feedback to YuJa just to kind of ask them if they can have something that's bigger. Yeah, but for now, that's kind of the workaround. So that's how you would embed a YuJa video into a D2L course. So lastly, and there was a question about Zoom videos and YuJa. Right now, if you have a Zoom video, if you have it on your computer, you can manually upload it to YuJa and then share it with within the course. Or if it's less than 1 gig, you can just upload that video into a D2L course without going through YuJa. There are plans to look at integrating Zoom and YuJa. Maybe summer you'll hear more information, but for now, yeah, again, stick with what's simple and straightforward. I'm just wondering if I missed anything else. Last thing, actually, let me go back to the slides. Here, last thing, we will share the slide, so just support information and UFC policies in terms of copyright and things like that. So let me just go back right here. And you just support vendor information or link eLearn with all the videos and documentation and links to additional stuff. There's also IT. It has the software distribution site at the bottom. Sorry, my toolbar is blocking, but there are other software that you can use as staff and faculty. If you feel more comfortable using other tools, you can do that. So we have a link that allows you to download different software. And lastly, additional resources, other places that are available on campus when it reopens, but we have links to copyright and other things too. So thanks again, everyone, for coming and for your patience, and we'll stick around if you have questions, and I'll follow up with, we'll follow up with the PowerPoint slide. Thank you again. Stay safe and healthy. See you.
Thank you. Thank you again.